The Keys are only one of the attractions of Florida's coast.
Many others are less well known, but just as much fun. The attractions of Orlando and the glitz of Miami have long overshadowed some other, less populated areas.
So if you'd like to get off the beaten path, head to Marco Island, where small town charm is around every corner.
Just on the western rim of the Everglades, you'll find Marco Island. Traveling west on US 41 from Miami, or south on Interstate 75 from Tampa, will bring you here in less than 3 hours. Marco Island has sun-washed white beaches and turquoise Gulf waters with a temperature range of 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This setting is the home for exotic plants and wildlife. It has a rich history and is now a popular holiday playground. To see the best of Marco Island, climb aboard the Marco Island Trolley for a tour of more than 100 points of interest. Guide Smokin' Joe is enthusiastic to point out the fascinating nooks and crannies, along with bits and pieces of trivia. One of the tour's highlights is Millionaire's Row, where you can see estate homes and incredible feats of architecture. It's all here, from the metal roofs popular on the island to the more exotic conch shell walls. Interested in snatching up some nice waterfront property like this one? Well, for a mere $750,000, it's all yours. Maybe it's better to just look. And speaking of looking, you can't miss the majestic celebrity mansions. Miami Vice used this home in the 1980s for a few episodes. On the tour, the homes of another kind of celebrity can be observed. The nests of America's national emblem, the bald eagle, can be found in the island's cypress trees. For a better vantage point, the Marco Island Trolley heads to the top of Indian Hill, the highest elevation above sea level in the region. Smokin' Joe also takes his passengers through the historical section of town, past the first house built here in 1883 by Captain Bill Collier. And what would sightseeing be without shopping? At any stage of the tour, you can jump off to spend time at any of the different stops, including the restaurants and shops. Then reboard the next trolley with your pass. The trolleys run continuously on the route every hour. The best part of the Marco Island Trolley Tour is that it's an entertaining introduction to the area, and it's an excellent way to get around.
There is no other place like it on the planet. The Everglades, that is. Most of its life forms are unique to this protected ecosystem, which has continued evolving over the last 6 million years. Though it may be primitive, the swamp and marshland are easy to reach, so you can catch a view of one of the few true wilderness areas left to enjoy.
Now these boats, there's no propellers sitting down into the water, so the power's above the water, so there's nothing damaging or chopping up the grass as they're moving along. It's a little noisy, but it's not that bad, you see, and it's really environmentally safe, these airboats are, and safe to ride in too. It's a totally flat, smooth ride, and you just kind of slide out through the Everglades here.
Now considered the last frontier, the Everglades are a subtropical region ruled by wildlife and preserved by Florida's government. It's a sanctuary to thousands of species of fish, birds, mammals, and indigenous plants.
We're looking after the Everglades itself too. The biggest thing is not just the one person, single person coming out and doing something, this and that. You know, sometimes people hunt at night or something like that. You know, we're involved about stuff like that. You know, we try to discourage anything like this, of course. But we're looking mainly for the big things. You know, you don't want no big companies, no big organizations, things like this coming out here and trying to develop the glades. And this is what has come about to the national parks and national preserve system that we have here in the Everglades that prevents this. So it's really worked out well for us.
An English surveyor dubbed the area Riverglades after the translation from a native Indian language. The name changed to the eloquent Everglades in the 19th century. It is the stark beauty and environmental interest that draws fine arts photographer Clyde Butcher to this landscape of southern Florida. He and his wife Nikki make Big Cypress Gallery their home, and their studio is located in the heart of the Everglades. Widely thought of as Florida's finest landscape photographer, Butcher's work in black and white allows him to capture the elaborate detail and textures that distinguish the rapidly disappearing natural landscape of Florida. It is Butcher's hope that his art will encourage the recognition and preservation of this beautiful environment.